ZEPBOUND news, updating you on the latest of the Eli Lilly, Tirzepatide, ZEPBOUND, and Mounjaro court update, and what's going on with Tirzepatide compound, the latest information. Hi friends, if we don't know each other, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 95 plus pounds. Stay tuned later this week for an update. Using GLP-1 medication the last 22 months, and I am a GLP-1 enthusiast. I made a mistake. Yesterday on October 14th, 2024, I released a video about Tirzepatide compound in relation to Eli Lilly, ZEPBOUND, and Mounjaro. And after reviewing that video, it came out, and then I ended up subsequently doing a ton of research for an upcoming video, as I always do here. I take my daily content here for Tirzepatide and semaglutide and GLP-1 medication in general very seriously. So I do my due diligence of researching. And I had several conversations with industry leaders yesterday afternoon after that video came out. After those conversations and further digging and investigation on my part, I did not feel comfortable with that video staying up in relation to Tirzepatide compound. And in fact, my viewpoint has changed from releasing that video several hours later in the evening yesterday of October 14th, 2024. I pulled the video down. I did not like some of the things that I had shared in that video, and I apologize sincerely. Integrity of what I'm doing here for the last 22 plus months of talking about GLP-1 medication, being factually accurate in a time where being factually accurate isn't always what people want. I'm going to be factually accurate, and I apologize that I wasn't on yesterday's video and want to correct that in today's video with updated information on the compound of Tirzepatide and how that relates to ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro users. And subsequently, if you're on semaglutide with WEGOVY or Ozempic, it all kind of blends in together, some of these things I'm going to be talking about from my research. And these are all my opinions and my standpoints of doing my due diligence. So feel free to fact check me. Feel free to in the comments and in my free encouragement group. I'll link all of the links I'm talking about down below, including my sources. Of course, because being factually accurate is important to me. So I'm going to punt to some news sources, but I'll make it very clear of what's news and what's my opinion. What has happened is we have seen last week, I talked about, I feel like I have whiplash, honestly. I'm like, stop, go with the Tirzepatide compound. And if you're not familiar with Tirzepatide compound versus the pens from Eli Lilly is the manufacturer of ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro. Because it was on those two medications, were on the FDA shortage list, Tirzepatide compounds had an easier time, essentially, being produced and being thousands and thousands of people are on Tirzepatide compound until, as of last week, or over the last, literally in October, all of this is kind of dominoed down. Eli Lilly, the FDA pulled ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro off the FDA shortage list, thus paving the way for the courts, essentially, for Tirzepatide to make it very hard for compounding manufacturers to produce Tirzepatide. And so this is now in the US, we have a lot of international viewers. In the US, we have three different branches of our government: legislative, executive, meaning the president, legislative is our Senate and Congress, and you're seeing a lot of Senate hearings, that's under our legislative branch. And the third one is judicial with our court system. Our court system has now got involved because we had essentially a conglomerate of people based out of Texas, the Outsourcing Facilities Association, sued the FDA for taking Eli Lilly's ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro off the FDA shortage list when there is still potentially a shortage. For me, I will use my I statements and what I see. I have had a hard time getting my ZEPBOUND pens. And y'all know I've been on, maybe you don't know if you don't know me, but I started off on Mounjaro because of the Mounjaro shortage, switched over to ZEPBOUND because of the ZEPBOUND shortage. I have personally been on Tirzepatide, meaning the compound. This is what the whole legal battle of what's happening right now is happening. And so to get you up to speed on that, that's what's essentially happening, is that it's now a court battle. Where I think I made a mistake in yesterday's video, and upon further reflection and talking to the Count too, my husband, he's very much, you guys will never see him on the internet. So I know people try to look for my hot husband. Yes, he is hot, but you won't see him. He is a very smart man, and him and I talking and walking through this of what we think, also now having some more facts on it. Eli Lilly is not in this they're not getting sued. Who's getting sued is the FDA, the Outsourcing Facilities Association, and that's the conglomerate of compounding pharmacies. The people who are making the tirzepatide compound are the ones who are suing the FDA to then put ZEPBOUND or Mounjaro back on the FDA shortage, so thus tirzepatide compound can be distributed. And so this affects many people. Thousands of people are on tirzepatide compound for several reasons. One being it's substantially cheaper. ZEPBOUND pens cost over around-ish $1,000 per month for ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro. And if you are able to use the savings card, the old grandfathered in is $550 a month. The new savings card is $650 per month. January 1st, 2025, that savings card will change. Do I know how much it will change to? I have no idea. Do I think it will be probably in the $750 range per month or $650 range per month? Probably. I'm financially planning for that to be the cost. I don't know though, I have no idea. That is my opinion, being clear on that. So the cost of that versus tirzepatide compound, depending on the dose, is substantially less expensive. Now, many people, as of this court ruling on the Friday, which last Friday, let's get our dates properly correct, was October 11th, Friday, 2024. This court proceeding, the courts came back and said, actually, you're allowed to still distribute tirzepatide while we figure this out till November 21st, 2024. And so that buys time for people on tirzepatide to be like, okay, let me go get my prescription. I work with Join Fridays. I'm obsessed with them. I've used them since 2023. They're the ones that I've gotten my prescriptions through. They're the ones I trust them with my health. If you want to switch to them, use the discount code QUEEN, and the link is in the description link below. They prescribe both compounds, meaning semaglutide, and also brand names, meaning WEGOVY and ZEPBOUND, for chronic obesity management. In my opinion, they're the best in the industry. I've done my due diligence of looking through a lot of different telehealth companies. They're telehealth companies, but they also ship semaglutide directly to your home from reputable compound pharmacies. Semaglutide with WEGOVY and Ozempic are not a part of this legal battle yet. We're going to talk about that. Stay till the end. I'm going to deep dive into that too. So this is a complicated issue. And so like unraveling all this, and we also had the longshoremen strike as affecting the supply chain with the ZEPBOUND shortage and Mounjaro shortage, which created some havoc. That has been resolved until January. So take that off of the table here with the ZEPBOUND news. But now, as of Friday, the courts have said that compounding facilities can still do their job, basically. This is where I think that there's going to be a shift in the marketplace. I'm being intentional with my words because I'm really trying to be factually accurate here, and I want to base off facts and be clear on my opinion versus facts. I think, I'll use my I statements, I think this is a temporary reprieve. If you are on tirzepatide compound, if I was on tirzepatide compound, I would ride the wave, but then I would make other accommodations to get on semaglutide. It is short. If you look at Eli Lilly, I'll use a biblical term, and don't forgive me if that offends you, but David versus Goliath. Eli Lilly is Goliath. They are a huge conglomerate, multi-billion-dollar company. They're not going to lose. They're not. They're not. Eventually, they will win all of this. I do not foresee, if I do put on my thinking cap of GLP-1s, of where I think this marketplace is going, and we know in 2 years coming to marketplace that we have a slew of new GLP-1 medications in the pipeline. They've got to get through FDA approval. Well, first they got to get through clinical trials and then through FDA approval. So that's coming. So the cavalry is coming, relief is coming. But in the interim, Eli Lilly is the top dog, and Novo Nordisk is the other top dog who manufactures WEGOVY and ZEPBOUND. WEGOVY and Ozempic for semaglutide. They are a European company, probably less litigious. They've not sued. They've not been in the U.S. court system yet, but we haven't. They're a European company. They've been involved with Senate hearings, okay? We're talking about going back to our branches of government. They've been getting grilled, whereas Eli Lilly's not getting grilled in front of our Senate. Have you noticed that? I digress. That's off of what I'm trying to talk about. The point that I'm trying to say, though, is Eli Lilly's not going to lose this. I think if we look at the marketplace, tirzepatide it is. They're going to win this. There is a temporary reprieve till November 21st. I have no idea what's going to happen on November 21st with the court systems. of putting back ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro. And if you are, so going back to what I said, I have experienced a ZEPBOUND shortage. You know what I need to do as a patient? I need to report to the FDA that it is in shortage. That if you are experiencing a ZEPBOUND shortage, fill out the daggone form that is linked in my description. Now, many people get confused because YouTube has changed where the description are. It's next to the hashtags under the ... more hyperlink. Click that. You may have to click it twice. And a whole bunch of, like, my free meal plan, weeks of a dietitian created meal plan, like all these free resources are down there for you. My Amazon shopping list if you're just starting, my beauty, many people want to know about loose skin, like a ton of resources. Click that more button. That is going to show you the form in which you can fill out to report to the FDA that you are experiencing a shortage with Mounjaro or ZEPBOUND, or WEGOVY for that matter, or Ozempic. Fill that form out. Fill that form out. People are like, I don't have any power. Yes, you do. You have to fill out that form if you are experiencing a shortage, if we are in fact seeing that. And using my I statements, I have a very incredible encouragement group. It is a community of smart, fun, amazing people. If you don't fill out all the questions, you'll not be admitted into the group because it'll look like spam. And if your Facebook account is less than 5 years old, you'll probably be filtered as spam. Shoot me an email. Would love to have you in the group, but you got to answer all the questions. In that group, many, and I have thousands of people in that group, people are also experiencing a shortage. Fill out the form. Fill out the form. That takes your power back. Do I ultimately think, though, that Tirzepatide compound will go away? Yeah, I do. That's not the future. Compounds aren't the future of GLP-1 medication, in my opinion, because of, if you just follow the trail. I don't. That's my opinion, though. I know many of you will disagree with me. I feel compelled to talk about this. And last night I could not sleep well, which, by the way, I am completely obsessed with. I take my daily magnesium. Of course, the best one is Bioptimizers. Use the discount code QUEEN. I took my sleep breakthrough last night. It helped because I could not sleep. I was tossing and turning. I'll link that down below. It's a separate powder drink format that you can make. No melatonin, non-addictive. It's amazing. Anyways, I could not sleep last night because it bothered me about people who financially cannot take ZEPBOUND. And then the part two of that is people who cannot get ZEPBOUND because of the shortage that I am experiencing and that I've witnessed other people in my group, a lot of people experiencing as well. Some people aren't experiencing that though too, by the way. I gotta give a lot of people in my group are also like, no, I'm not experiencing a shortage. I do think it's based upon geographic location from my Inspector Clouseau deductions that I do think that different people in different areas of the country are seeing different. And like, I even know that here in rural Virginia, if I go to certain pharmacies, they're going to have it and other pharmacies aren't. Like in Northern Virginia, near Washington, D.C., there's a big shortage going on. Rural Virginia and the less socioeconomic areas, you can get more easily GLP-1 medications and vaccines for that matter, but I digress. So talking about all of that, like it's just a fact, like it's an observation. Talking about which I'm getting my cold and flu shot, which is why I'm thinking about that, and my updated COVID booster. I'm like thinking of all these things I need to go do. I wanted to make sure it was clear about Tirzepatide. So that's like the negative news. And I feel like I want to be, and I'm responsible for creating an encouraging place for me and for everybody else of being on chronic obesity management, having on a 100-pound weight loss journey, more than that, 120-pound weight loss journey. I want to create an environment that's uplifting and positive, but not at the detriment of the truth. And so if I was on Tirzepatide, I would continue on as if I was, but I think changes in the marketplace are coming and having backup solutions of getting on semaglutide. Literally the year before ZEPBOUND came out and Mounjaro, semaglutide was the top dog on the like life-changing medication. It still is. Slightly different data than Tirzepatide. And so switching over to that. Now, I talk about my experience, strength, and hope. I'm on ZEPBOUND 15 milligrams. I need a higher dose of it, like basic, like I've not plateaued because I broke through my weight stall, which stay tuned to tomorrow's video. And all of my videos got jacked up because of what's happened. Pulling that video yesterday majorly screwed me. So make sure you watch later this week. If you like this channel, please watch these videos later this week because I screwed myself majorly in several different ways by doing that. But out of integrity, it was important for me to talk about the truth and make things factually accurate. If I was taking Tirzepatide, I'd of course ride that wave as long as I could, but ultimately I think Eli Lilly is going to win this lawsuit battle and that Tirzepatide compound is going to go away. And taking advantage of semaglutide is still on the shortage list. If you notice, from the Friday ruling on October 11th, did ZEPBOUND or Mounjaro go back on the FDA shortage list? No, it did not. It did not get added back on. There was a reprieve to be able to continue to basically allow compound manufacturers to kind of, what's that word? Ease off, taper off the orders that they probably have in the queue, I'm guessing. I don't know, but I'm guessing. To be able to transfer people over to semaglutide. The other part of this is there's massive insurance changes happening if you are into open season for your insurance company to check into what insurance your employer has that does cover GLP-1 medications. So for me, for example, my health insurance does cover WEGOVY. I got to get a PA through it, but it's apparently easier than ZEPBOUND. I did through Join Fridays, use the discount code QUEEN. They're amazing. They prescribe both semaglutide and also ZEPBOUND and Mounjaro. And that's where I get my ZEPBOUND. I could switch over to WEGOVY, but they did a PA for me for ZEPBOUND. I did not get approved for it. It's very frustrating, but they're doing the paperwork for me. They have a huge, Join Fridays has a huge prior authorization PA department to help fight your insurance companies to get things like ZEPBOUND approved, to get things like WEGOVY approved. Go through those channels. It's worth the fee with them just to have the paper pushers, in my humble opinion, to not have to do that. So I could technically switch over to WEGOVY. My husband and I, and if I was in a different situation, I would do things differently, but I'm not. So this is where I am. My husband and I have made the decision collectively, I will stay on ZEPBOUND because it's working for me. And why change something that's working that for me? But if finances are in play on this, switch to what your health insurance has. Can you get a PA on that? Many people have DM'd me. They had to fight hardcore, but they got PAs, prior authorizations. Have Join Fridays huge PA department fight for you. Switching over to them. So many people have switched over to them. Or getting semaglutide. If you're, of course, of course, for people who are eligible. I mean, to me, that's like common sense, but I feel like I have to say that to cover my butt. Of course, they're like, they make you do blood panels. There are reputable healthcare things. People, when they talk in my free encouragement groups and people about things, I'm like, that is so shady. Join Fridays is not like that. So use the discount code QUEEN. So all of that to say, the things that I would do, I'm not, but if I was, would be my action plan. 1, switching to semaglutide compound. It is substantially cheaper. It varies by your dose, the cost. Semaglutide is actually less expensive than Tirzepatide anyway, so you'll save yourself some money. And you can play with the doses with your healthcare provider. You would need to have for example, Join Fridays, a video telehealth meeting or whatever, of course, but do that. You can sit in your pajamas at home while you do. I love telehealth meetings. I'm like, oh, I can wear my fuzzy little slippers and stay in yeah, I'm like a mullet. I'm like business on the top and party on the bottom. I got my pajama pants on and my slippers on pretty much every single video. I come in the studio and I'm like wearing my slippers. So 1 is semaglutide. 2 would be, I would switch over to WEGOVY. If whatever your insurance covers for you, if finances is a part of that, switch to what is covered. It is open season. If it's not covered, can your employer, do they have another insurance company you could get that would be covered? For the way we get our insurance, with that, we could switch to another health insurance company that would cover ZEPBOUND. Again, I go back to, this is my family, and if situations were different, we would do things differently. But I'm giving you options, so you have options, choices. The choice would be, I could switch to another health insurance company and it would cover ZEPBOUND. But that would change some things for us that we're not willing to do. I'm saying that though for you, of check in with your employer or your partner's employer of what insurance companies during open season you can switch to. Are they covering WEGOVY or ZEPBOUND? Can you get it for 25 bucks if you use the savings card plus your insurance company? That's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? So, and many of you have DM'd me how that's one option, and then also the PA prior authorizations of where you've had to fight. What's that song? The Beastie Boys. Fight for your right to GLP-1. It's supposed to be party, but we're gonna change party for GLP-1. We gotta add some humor in here. If you're not laughing right now, then I gotta get you guys energized. I gotta get you motivated here. So, semaglutide, prior authorization, switching over to WEGOVY if that's covered by your insurance. Like there's lots of different, you are not trapped here. Here's the thing, I want to empower you of you are not trapped here, but I do think, and this is where I've hopefully clarified in my video, I think eventually Tirzepatide will be winding down. Yes, we're gonna go through the legal season of all of that, but I don't think that that is the future of GLP-1 medications is compounds. That is not where it's going. And so taking the bird's eye view of this, yes, for the next few months, of course, do what you gotta do. But long term, I do think that Eli Lilly will win these legal battles. They will, and they've been very much people of their word. They have said that they. I mean, when I was on the Oprah show back, what was this? Back in freaking March of 2024, when I was with Oprah for the Shame, Blame, and Weight Loss Revolution, which you can see on Hulu. I was on the after show part talking to Oprah, and then on the show part, my before and after pictures were used, and my cycling hair cut. But on that show, they talked. Eli Lilly's representative talked about which compounds. They had talked about that, of how, like, this is not new news. They've done exactly what they said they're going to do, and they will continue to do it until compounds aren't an option. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Do I think that's happening right now? No. Do I think that there's a reprieve? Yes. Do I think that long term this is going to work out for you? And I know that. I don't know how, but I do know you have choices. And taking our power back of what things we can control and things we can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. We can control what we put in our mouth. We can control if we're exercising today. We can control our mindset. We can control these things. And so choosing, and it's a choice, friends, to focus in on those things. I'm saying this right now also for myself. It is a choice to do all those things. And for me, paying all of this money, I mean, it's like a mortgage payment. Paying all this money every month to get results to change my health and thus change my life. For me, to be able to ride a horse, which has been a dream for decades, to ride a roller coaster, which has been a dream for decades, to keep up with my kid, which is a dream, to be a really good mom. And being the best wife and the best mom is what I aspire to in life. Those are my goals. And so that GLP-1 medication has helped me do these things, keeping that in the first form in front of what can I do? What do I have control over? I have no control over Eli Lilly's legal battle. I know that there's a huge legal, I mean, they're fighting, and it's going to continue to fight. And so if you are on Tirzepatide, ride that wave, baby, but also recognize that wave is stopping. Many, many, many people are stopping Tirzepatide. Are they doing it now? Probably, but I don't think long-term that is a long-term solution. And if you're banking on that being a long-term solution, I hate, in my opinion, that you're going to get disappointed. And I'd rather you start thinking, you've got some time, but thinking of new options, like Join Fridays with semaglutide, like Join Fridays with their PA department for prior authorizations to be able to get ZEPBOUND or WEGOVY, or number 3, switching insurance plans completely to who is covered under your employer's insurance. Things like that. So I hope this video helps. I hope that I fixed my information that I felt like was not accurate. And I felt like the last video was painting Tirzepatide of this like rainbows and butterflies. And after deep digging and talking to a lot of industry leaders yesterday, I mean, y'all, I spent hours deep dive, and it kept me up at night. And I hate that it affected my sleep, but it did. Because I care about you guys, and I care about, like, you guys are like my friends. And I care about our community so much that in lieu of like the financial part of this and time and all of that, I'd rather have integrity of being like, I screwed up. Here's the solutions, and here's what really I think is going to be happening, and painting the picture, even though it's not a fun one to paint, that I do think that is the accurate picture. So I hope that that's clear. I hope that that helps. Solutions I'm doing today, speaking of things I'm choosing to do, focusing on protein. I am having my protein pudding today, which is really easy. If you haven't seen my recipe on that, Countess of Shopping Instagram, I have that recipe, but it's with Bioptimizers. Use the discount code QUEEN with their protein breakthrough, the mushroom breakthrough, and then their microbiome. It's awesome. It also helps with tummy issues too, by the way. That is all linked in the description link below. Today, I am going to Pilates and I am going to walk. I am getting back into Prime Day kicked my booty. I mean, literally have been so exhausted from Prime Day. Thank you so much. If you clicked any of my Amazon links, I appreciate you and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much. And through the holiday season, if you choose to shop my holiday links, I am so grateful. It helps fund a lot of cool things that we're doing here. One of them is this week's challenge. If you're not in the weight loss challenge on my free encouragement group, you should be. We're doing a really, really cool one. The Amazon links literally help fund things like that. So I'm not gonna, if you're not in the free encouragement group, then you don't get to know about the weight loss challenge. This week's a good one. We do one every week. Last week, Angie was the winner. I think it was Angie was the winner. And then the week, I'm forgetting, but so usually there's a prize associated with it. So I will link my Reuters news source down below too for you, as is all the information. Your accountability question: what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? And number 2, Our emoji of the day, I do emojis of the day to help to get to know you better because I care, is gratitude. What I was doing the palms folded, but you could also do hands up, gratitude. Truly, because you guys gave me a lot of grace yesterday, and I appreciate that. I got really nice comments in my free encouragement group of like, sorry friends, I'm pulling this video, and many of you were very gracious to me when I felt like shizzle, crapola in a box, as they say in St. Olaf. So our emoji of the day is either this or this, and that helps me to get to know you better because I care. Sweet friends, I love you guys so super much. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. My video sequences are all screwed up, so forgive me. If you're like, why is that out of chronological order? This is why. When I told you it was major time, it screwed up my money and it screwed up my time, but I'm willing to do it to be of integrity. So forgive me for later this week with the jacking of the videos being all wackadoo. They're going to be good though. They're going to be really good. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. Love y'all.